Over the past few months, we have seen more and more sexually violent predators placed in San Diego County, and there are 5 more who could be potentially placed here. Once they get here, who's watching them? Are they allowed to grocery shop, go to the post office? Who's allowed to visit them? And who's paying for all of this? County Supervisor Jim Desmond is demanding the state reveal the answers. Supervisor Desmond is joining us live here on the 4 this afternoon, along with Belinda Dreiche. Now, Belinda's daughter was molested in 1993 by Michael Martinez. He is the sexually violent predator who was just placed at a home in Borrego Springs. Thank you both for joining us here on the 4. We appreciate your time.
Welcome.
Belinda, I'd like to start with you on this particular interview, and I appreciate you stepping up and letting us know from a parent's perspective what this nightmare has been like for you and your family. I understand, Belinda, your daughter was only 9?
Yes, she was. My daughter is actually the one that came forward initially. And at the time, they wanted him to get released on probation. And at the time, I had said that if he was released and ended up going through parole and then was back out on the streets, that he would do this again. I actually spoke at his hearing in 2018 and said the exact same thing. These predators are not going to stop. We as a community, we as people, parents, need to stop them. We can't have them on our streets.
Belinda, I know that you begged the judge to not allow him to be released back into the community. What has it been like for you and your daughter, knowing that not only Michael Martinez, but other sexually violent predators are now living in communities with children just a few doors down?
It's a very difficult situation because you know that it's not going to change. As soon as they get off their probation, or if they're on medications, they go off those medications. They're going to do this again. I said this almost 30 years ago. I said this in 2018, and I'm saying it again. They are not going to stop. And we as a community, as a county, need to be aware when these predators are being released. Would someone want that predator across the street from their house or close to our children? I don't think so.
No, I think that that's a flat out no. Nobody wants this in their neighborhood. Nobody wants this anywhere in the county. Jim, that's where you come in, Supervisor Desmond. I know that you asked the state for a California Public Records Act. You want the state of California to release all of the records regarding these SVPs, these sexually violent predators, and Liberty Healthcare. What are you hoping to learn?
Well, one of the things that is really frustrating when these sexually violent predators do get placed, and hopefully they never do, but if they do, then what are the terms of the release? The neighbors have asked me, are these people able to leave the property? Can they go to the grocery store? As you mentioned, can they go to the park? What are the terms? And the only answer I've gotten back is, well, in the beginning, they can't leave the property unless they're escorted by Liberty Healthcare. Then I said, well, are you going to let the community know when, those terms may change? And then if they see this person out on the street or at any of these other places? And the answer was no, we're not going to let that information out. So that's when I said, okay, we got to do a California public records request here and see what the correspondence is between the state hospitals and Liberty Healthcare and that goes on in these placements, so that we can at least tell the neighbors that they're already living in fear, and then the fear of the unknown is even worse. And so letting people know, here's the terms, they can't leave the property, or here's the terms, you might see them out in the neighborhood. But it's just a really untenable situation for people when these people do get placed, and then not knowing is even scarier than that.
Yeah, and please come back on our show, Supervisor Desmond, when you do get those answers, because we really want to make sure that the public is aware of the rules and regulations surrounding their placement. Supervisor Desmond, it wasn't too long ago I would cover these stories, and these individuals will be placed on the property of a prison in a trailer, away from neighborhoods, away from children. Why is that not happening anymore?
I wish that's the only place I think that would be if there's a compromise at all, that's where they should be placed. And I think Mr. Martinez was one of them back in 2007. Yeah. But, apparently They have not gone back to that practice. I would love to see that happen again. They have crossed the line too far. They do not belong in our neighborhoods, any neighborhoods in San Diego County, even if they're the model citizens and they never reoffend again with those horrific acts. They're making new victims of the innocent people that live around them now who have to adjust their lifestyles to the sexually violent predator living next door.
Living in fear, living with constant concern. Belinda, we appreciate your time. My heart goes out to you and, of course, your daughter and any families that have been impacted by these individuals. Thank you for stepping up and for telling your side of the story. And Supervisor Desmond, please keep us updated on this public records request.
We'll keep up the fight, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you both.
And I'll be right there next to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your partnership. Thanks, guys.